Hello and welcome to WrestleCulture. I always do like an air guitar for that, and I'm actually changing. I've never played guitar in my life.
You're good at air guitar, though, and that's what matters.
Thanks. Paid a lot for it.
Fine-looking guitar, man.
Put us to shame with his outfit today, this one.
Go.
But speaking of putting people to shame, of course.
Yeah.
I'm just going to remember the guitar bit at the start of the song. Let me be your zero.
I don't know why I brought that. It's empty. Sorry, I've stepped on these doors.
Would you graps if I asked you to graps? Arms to snap or stab someone's back. Now I hear you've gone, left A-E-Dub. Debut in the Fed tonight. I can be your zero miedo.
Oh, yeah.
I can kiss away the fear. And I will chant for you. Oh, Penta. You can take my breath away. I can be your zero miedo.
I got excited. I wanted to do the miedo, and then I just punched the table.
Yeah,
but
can't have it all, Phil.
I'm Adam Wilbourn from WhatCulture.
Sometimes you can't even have some of it.
Joined by Nicholas and Phil Chambers from WhatCulture. But before we go any further, Phil, I know you have something you want to say.
Hey, Poochie, you got something you want to say.
Do you?
No,
Yes, I must go now. My planet needs me. Bye, everyone.
Go off into the sky.
I think it was more of a...
And what would be
For
weird
the
about that,
remake.
Phil, is that it would be very Lynchian. And we all just wanted to share our condolences with David Lynch's family and friends, because that is some real bummer news that came yesterday.
Yes, you texted me last night and made me sad.
I know.
Oh, did you
And
break
that's
the
not
news
just
to
that
him?
had nothing to do with that
Yeah.
either, did it? That was just
Just the
that was
text just saw Adam
Nicholas.
Nicholas pop up and
This
like,
guy's
oh,
here again.
Again.
Yeah.
I immediately thought of Sidge, like straight first thing
Well,
out.
weirdly, I thought of all Josh Brown, Phil, Sidge, and Hamlet was like the last, because I know he likes his stuff, but I wasn't sure how much.
Yeah.
So I had just taken myself out for a little quiet, complete nonsense, but it kind of felt like it made sense. You know, when you get home sometimes and you're just a bit fidgety. You're like, what am I doing? What do I want to do? How am I feeling? And then I was like, I'm going to just go and sit. I'm going to take myself out and just sit and have my first bottle of beer of the year. Just sat and had a nice... And then I was like, that feels better. I wonder why I was feeling all weird. And then literally went on my phone and just go and read some stuff. And I was like, awful news.
Yeah.
Yeah. A
Never mind.
ridiculously talented artist and pioneer. And I was saying to Sidge before, it's genuinely incredible that we got any David Lynch movies at all, because that system is not made for his style of art.
And
in
after
any
June as
way,
well.
shape, or form.
Like, obviously, Elephant
After
Man.
June as
then
well.
he did June. And
to get Blue Velvet out straight after June, of like, oh, like that's his palette cleanser. Look, this is what I do.
Like, incredible. Obviously, we've mimicked the Twin Peaks aesthetic for the pod.
Obviously.
Like, that show I caught onto it years after, because obviously I wasn't the right age when it came out, and went from to go from those first 2 seasons to the humongous jump that is Twin Peaks: The Return.
Yeah.
I wish I had been like watching The Return as it was happening, because it was actually when I first started work at WhatCulture, Twin Peaks: The Return was on the TV.
Yeah.
And I was having to put my headphones in and drown myself out, because I didn't really know the Dadleys at the time. And they would, every week, they'd be talking about the latest episode. And I was like, la, 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 can't hear about this ever. I need to watch this late, like in the future. And I'm not there yet, because I was still watching.
Lad really likes his thrash metal, doesn't he?
No, it was actually Hero by Enrique Iglesias, which just be drowning in my ears.
Well,
but
it's funny you say that, because thank you to Claire Louise. Clearly, not the only one enjoying that. Claire writes, you hit that high note and my cat ran off. I assume in a house, not just
In
left the
respect,
house forever.
obviously.
Goodbye.
Yeah,
If you listen to this, I'm off.
I'm off skis.
Thanks to everyone joining us live on YouTube, and I normally save it for a while to go through some of these comments, because we've got lots to get through, but I want to give a special shout out to a regular.
We're busy.
It's all over the
We're
bloody
busy
place.
today. Oh my God.
To Larry Robb, who says, Happy New Year's, all my friends. Happy New Year to you, Larry. Thank you so much for your donation, as always. Work has been kicking my ass this year. The fundraiser, which you may have seen me and Andy mention on the news, raising some money for a fantastic cause, helping out everyone affected by the LA wildfires, a great kitchen, just going out and serving people who have, risked their lives for that, all been affected by it, of course. Larry informs me that fundraiser is up to $260, so thank you to everyone who's donated, because I know it's a tough time of the year. At the end of the show, Larry says, I will match all donations made during the show.
Oh,
That guy, Larry Robb, he's a good guy.
Do we have a link we can plug?
I would also like to point
put
out,
it in the chat.
I would also like to point out that it has been a genuinely busy day today.
Yeah.
It's a rarity in this normal show.
Yeah.
But so busy that I didn't even know we had done this until I saw it had gone into the comments, and I was like, what fundraiser is this? What do you speak of? That's how organised we are at WhatCulture. Well, or maybe how organised I am in my own brain.
Yes, I will get the link in the chat in due course.
Make it happen. And thank you to everybody who has donated so far.
Yeah,
very
absolutely.
cool cause and much needed.
Terrible
The time that is much
situation.
needed. Yeah, there's a
My
lot of bad
God.
things. Why is that? Someone told me it was going to be better this year. It's not a
Never
great
believe
start, man.
them.
Not
Never
a great start.
believe them.
But a good start to the year for your WWE and TNA announcing their partnership yesterday, of course. It's one of those things, it's like, it's news and it's not news, because they already had this working relationship, but now that door has been flung wide open. I mean, if Joe Hendry wasn't in the Rumble, he is now.
This is very true.
Well, if he's not,
Well, if he's not, that's...
that's one of the worst working relationships ever.
yeah. I think it's now a race to see how quickly they can get Jordynne and Grace on WWE TV.
Yes.
Because they desperately want her. It's quite
How do we
obvious.
switch on a contract, just change the
Yeah, it'd be
initials?
funny
of,
if they
like,
just bought, just done this entire partnership just so they can get her contract. And then be
Yes.
like, well, we're done with you now.
would it be funny, or would it?
Well,
be
it wouldn't
exactly
be funny.
why
Yeah,
it's
it would be
probably
exactly-
happened.
Yeah.
There are 5 people
not
on that roster
pretend
that
here.
they've got their eye on. Let's not mess around.
Yeah. But it's going to be interesting to see how this pans out. They've done these before. They've not necessarily always worked out for the company that
I
they
think-
partnered with.
They've never, Phil. Never.
Yeah, okay,
I can actually
never.
say confidently, it has
ever worked
never
out.
ever worked out for any of the companies. They've either ended up bust,
Yeah.
squashed, blacklisted.
I mean,
Yeah,
might have
with
worked
no
out
talent.
For Evolve, they might be that new WWE Evolve TV show thing they're potentially doing. I mean, they didn't kill Evolve for like 5 years or something, but they might be bringing it back. Gabe Sapolsky
It took them
got a
5
job out of
years,
it
though.
at least.
Yeah. Listen, I would love to believe in this, and as part of this new era of maybe one of the nice things you could do is start working with other companies. Like AEW probably deserve a lot of credit for opening that door a bit more, maybe than what.
Forbidden Door, Nicholas.
But is it door, Phil, or is the answer no door?
We'll never know.
We'll never ever know. But yeah, I think it would be nice to dream up a scenario where maybe that is going to not result in a terrible thing for TNA.
Yeah.
I would just say, if you are a fan of TNA, enjoy all of the stuff that you're enjoying right now.
I don't know. I think at this point it's like impossible to kill TNA. Like they're just like the little engine
I'm not
that
saying they're
could.
going to kill them, but they may well just end up taking all that top
Yeah.
stars.
It's like TNA have been through a lot and they've managed to come back every single goddamn time.
They
So
are.
it's like
I mean this in the
they
most
are a
affectionate
scrappy
way.
little promotion.
In the most affectionate way possible, TNA are the unkillable cockroach of the rest of the world. You can do anything to them.
After
they can
nuclear war, there will still be a TNA.
still be there.
I've given up on trying to find a link to do the straight donation
You could just
from...
message Andy, who would then tell you the link, I'm sure. and
I've
then-
just put a link to this morning's news, and the donate button's on the right-hand side
Or we
there.
could just try and put this video in that donation.
I don't know what I'm
thing.
doing.
That
I'm
would
just
probably
break
work.
everything. I've already broken
I'll
everything.
break everything.
I'll break everything.
That's like my mum when I try to I couldn't possibly print that thing. Could you help me by printing all those things for me? It's your printer. What are you on about? I'll break it if I touch it. What am I like, eh?
Go to the link in the chat. It's a news video. You don't have to watch the news.
Yeah, mute
video.
that,
Click
obviously.
the donate button on the news video, and then you'll be able to do the
Yeah,
donation.
that's the best I can do.
We're so prepared.
We are well organised. That is us.
We is
We
experts.
is experts. On this exact topic, I'm really sorry. But I'm going to say sorry, but you do this every week, so it doesn't matter,
Okay.
right? I actually am desperate for the toilet because we literally rolled out of a Dadley's video I've just recorded that will be going up tomorrow. They're doing a video all about, people have asked them if the wrestler, they've given them a bunch of wrestlers' names and they decide if they are rated correctly, overrated or underrated.
Fascinating.
The Dadleys have covered quite a few there. But unfortunately...
Edge is rated correctly.
Well...
As R, of course.
This guy, I'd laugh more if I didn't need a wee.
Imagine leaving a podcast to go for a wee.
I know who would ever do
Who would
that.
ever do such a thing?
Imagine legitimately leaving. Yeah.
I will instead...
What's not legitimate about...
Exactly. No,
come on.
Imagine.
I will instead talk to Phil Chambers about former WCPW star Penta showing up in WWE.
Penta.
We did.
You're welcome, everyone.
He was quite the character in WCPW. He was terrifying in ring. Lovely man outside of it, but terrifying in ring. And now he's in WWE, and what an arrival. Big things expected for him. And interestingly enough, disregarding all that bollocks about like, oh, he got heat for going too long. Who cares?
Moaning.
You were on Netflix.
Let him on his moment. Shut up.
You could have gone longer on the show. It doesn't matter.
You don't have any time on this.
But really interesting today as well that debut has already made people in AEW go,
Yes.
But
they're starting to get a little track record of it with Cody and now Penta. It's
Jade Cargill. Like the first few ones were like kind of easy goals, weren't they?
Yeah.
Don't bring Cody back as Stardust and have Jade Cargill be Jade Cargill. But like
Penta's a fascinating one because they have been desperate for the next big luchador since they still had Rey Mysterio as the biggest luchador of the world. They've always wanted that next one. Like, who is that next person? And they've tried it with a bunch of things. Obviously, Sin Cara didn't pay out as much as it did.
Not so much.
Like, Dragon Lee kind of just ended up being a little bit stop-start in the push of the main roster stuff. And they've still never, ever used him to his full potential in terms of, like, matches. Or
Del Rio's Mexican. Do you like him?
Yeah. So they've tried this a lot. But Penta, like... The sort of promotion, the video package and stuff, like it wasn't like a big long build up, but I think it was like just enough to sort of get those teasers. But then the entrance, the like packaging of him, how incredibly over the top the commentary went on saying how amazing this guy is. Like it feels like they are all in terms of pushing this guy and having that as like sort of a full blown package. And it's something we've never seen on WWE before, like that style of luchador as well.
It was interesting as well because like old school WWE, well, it had been dreadful, the presentation first and foremost. Yeah. But also you sense that it would have been like, it's going to be Penta versus, nothing against the guy, I love him, but he has a role in the company, Akira Tozawa, for a nice 2-minute job squash sort of thing. But we'll put him in there for like, 10 minutes or whatever it was?
It's the biggest win you could possibly imagine that he's not in the LWO already.
Yeah, yeah. Whew. Give it 2 weeks. But yeah, putting him in there against Chad Gable and allowing him time to showcase who he is.
Yeah.
And yeah, just letting him talk afterwards in both languages, I thought was just sensational. Yeah. I think it's a real springboard for him.
The Mexican Destroyer.
Yes.
Which Chad Gable sold amazingly, by the way. That was so good. I
saw the Sonic Rings thing that people obviously make of all these sorts of things, and that was more than deserved there.
So the match itself was super fun in terms of introducing Penta as a style in WWE. I think his finish is really good. Obviously, then he's not going to do the package pile driver, especially when they've got the whole Kevin Owens storyline.
Unless they just want to keep writing out people off telly.
Yeah.
Well, 10 people gone now.
But I think it's like a nice, like it still works for the sort of package driver instead. The promo afterwards, like he felt like vibrant and passionate. The sort of his crowd, the family in the crowd, like everything about it screamed, we're pushing this guy.
Is it question? Is there going to be any? And I hope so. And I've got high hopes for February 1st. Is there going to be any wrestling in the Royal Rumble? Because you've got, one would presume, Penta, LA Knight, Jimmy and Jey Uso. Both can do a bit of yeeting, can't they?
Yeah.
Shinsuke Nakamura might be in there with his entrance.
Yeah, I love his new entrance.
It's going to be just catchphrases and, time for the next one, I think. Which I suppose is good because I don't recognise anyone's themes anymore than like CM Punk's.
Yeah.
We'll see. I do have, like, I mean, the lineup's preposterous already. The 5 people, 6 people, I suppose, if you include Nia and Anthony for the women's, that they've confirmed already. It's just like, oh, cool, biggest stars in the world, is it?
Yeah.
So I know there's going to be a fair few people making up the numbers. Whoa! Ooh.
I have donuts.
In more honor.
In more honor.
What was going on in that
Should have
toilet?
got black coffee. Should have got some black coffee.
If only we had a coffee
and
machine,
donuts.
Phil.
Yeah, but we're not going to leave the pod again to go make coffee to have
You're
our
right,
donuts.
Phil. I'm not going to leave again. I had all this planned out, and I just haven't had time to do anything. If
Homer
anyone would
Simpson,
like a
of course,
donut,
that's
of
why
course.
we're here.
Would you like a donut, Philip?
I would like a donut.
Go on, then you can have a donut as well.
I think right in there. Oh.
We don't all have to eat them at the same time, but we can.
This is true. Should we tell our Penta story from WCPW?
Go on.
Well, there's two, I guess, that we could tell. One isn't directly Penta, but
You heard
it
this?
was
Directly
Penta. But it was the Mexican leg of the Pro Wrestling World Cup. I think it was in Milton Keynes in the ice arena.
Yes, that sounds about right.
And I've sort of, I guess, during and after the show, the Mexican crew of all the luchadors that we brought over just found a bar that happened to be empty but open in this ice arena.
Unlocked, you should say, not open.
Well, yeah, unlocked.
Right.
With no one in it. And they just drank all the beer in the bar. Not before
How
the
have I
matches,
never heard
obviously.
this story before?
They just went in there, drank everything, and then we got...
Arrive, drink everything,
drink everything, leave. And then, like, a couple of days later, we got an angry email from the arena going, did you guys just drink an entire keg of beer? We're like, what? What are you talking
No.
about? And then after asking some
And it
people, we
became
found out it
apparent.
was just all of the Mexicans.
we did,
went
but
and
I never got
drank
any.
a bar dry
Wow.
just because they saw it.
To be fair, it's on them for leaving that unlocked, isn't it? Is it not?
It is a little bit. You
That's
would think
like...
so.
And their dad wasn't looking after them because I was busy telling Rey Mysterio thank you very much at the time because that's where I interviewed him.
This is true.
That's
Milton Keynes, I remember that distinctly.
Right. This all makes a lot of sense now.
And the other Penta story, there's quite a few stories.
Hang on, this wasn't in Mexico.
No.
No, we didn't fly to Mexico for the
in my head, I was
Mexican leg.
thinking,
We just brought them
I was
over.
thinking, if I had like a stroke or something, like, have I not remembered that they went to Mexico
It was in
and they've
Milton
told me a
Keynes.
story about this? I was like, no,
You went to
of course it
Canada,
wasn't.
didn't you?
We went to
For
Canada.
like a night.
I'm Berlin.
That's what I mean. That's why I was
Yeah.
thinking,
Yeah.
did they do Mexico? I was like, there's no way
never
they
did
did
Mexico.
Mexico. Yeah.
Well, England's Mexico. Milton Keynes.
Milton Keynes.
That was also the night that El Hijo del Dos Caras, Alberto's brother, almost destroyed all of our commentary equipment by doing this dive. and
Wow, I didn't know that one.
And to this day, there's still a gigantic dent in the box, and he like wiped out all of our commentary, but we managed to get it back going for the
God.
show. Thanks.
There's a checkered history of, and one day we'll sit down and tell all these stories properly, I suppose, in WCPW, people,
As opposed to right now.
yes, people in charge saying, we won't be doing that. And then that happens. I distinctly remember being told, I won't say any names for anyone, don't worry, that won't be happening in the Pro Wrestling World Cup, and proceeded to watch that happen in the Pro Wrestling World Cup. But the other one was a wrestler who we knew quite well, saying, well, I won't be taking the package pile driver,
He
that's
didn't
for
just
sure.
say it. He wandered around backstage before the show, all like big man, like, I'm not taking that move. Have you seen it? It's effing ridiculous. I'm not taking that. Smash cut two.
Smash good too.
Not only did he take it, Phil,
He took it twice. He took it once on the ring apron, and he took it a second time on a big pile of steel chairs.
And with a smile on his face.
So
and then he
Penta
drove some of the
won.
wrestlers home.
Penta won out that day.
Yes, I remember this now.
We didn't get to see the conversation where he told Penta,
And then he
no, I'm not
drove us
taking
home.
that." We didn't get to see
No.
him tell Penta, no, I'm not taking that move. And Penta go, yes, you are. And then go, okay, sir.
Yeah, what is that?
Like,
That
what
was the
is that
shortest conversation.
Yeah, no.
So we'll be doing this, this, and this. I'd rather if I didn't. We'll be doing this, this, and this. See you out there.
Zero negotiation. Just do it. Just do it. Or I'll kill you. Because I'm Penta. Yes.
Excited for him in WWE though.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Like, I have to say, I didn't know loads about him when it was AEW and he was first coming in. The Lucha Bros. I was excited. Obviously, the aesthetic is the thing that really brings them to life. Before you've even watched them wrestle, you were excited by Penta specifically because of the way the face paint and stuff works.
Yeah.
But I'd seen a few things. I think the first one was
He's got such a great look as well, Penta.
Yeah, incredible.
The whole package is so good.
incredible look, incredible delivery. Obviously, Zero Miedo is just over forever and ever. People love doing it. It's as good as
Good as
Yeet.
he.
Yep. Hey, we hang out too much. I hate it when it happens. But I think the first time I saw him wrestle was it Kenny? He wrestled it All Out,
Maybe.
All In. What was the one? Like
All Shake It All About.
The one that
the
wasn't
original one,
AEW.
All In, yeah.
All
Oh,
In.
yes. Yeah.
That's the one where Jericho
Came out with the mask.
That was great.
Yeah, it did look good, to be fair.
That one, we liked him.
And that blew my mind. I remember thinking like, oh God, I love this guy. And then obviously I thought they had a real great stint in AEW, and then the booking just kind of went all to poop.
Yeah.
And really somehow they got rid of all of his aura. And he had a hell of a lot of aura.
Yeah.
So to see him get a fresh start in WWE.
Speaking of aura, did you see any of his Lucha Underground stuff?
Well, no,
That
this is the thing. This is the
full
thing.
of aura, my
This is the thing. I never did any Lucha Underground.
I need to
but
go
that's-
back and watch it. Yeah.
That was
good
where
fun.
all the hype came from, and I was
Yeah,
like, I'm
with the
really into the
breaking the
idea
arms and
and the
things.
aesthetic of this guy, and then watched that the original All In. I was like, yeah, who's that guy?
Yeah, that guy right
To be
there.
fair, I'm not complicated. I love anything that like is adjacent to the Day of the Dead from Mexico. You know what I mean? So him and Thunder Rosa, I was like, I want to know more about these two. Who are they? Then obviously we found all about them in AEW. So.
Mr. Phoenix in the chat says, greetings from the forklift. How long before Triple H has a teachable moment with Tony Khan? This is how you do Cody. This is how you do Jade. This is how you do Punk. This is how you do Penta. This is how you do TNA. Yeah, he's kind of showing it how it's meant to be done, really, right now.
Yeah.
But as I said on the news this morning, I think 2025 is going to be a very interesting year. We'll talk a bit about Malachi Black in a second,
I
because
think WWE needed to be good
Yeah.
at presenting the AEW guys, though, as well. Like,
Yeah.
AEW starting, it's a brand new company. It's a brand new place to work. It's already got like hype about it, like a sort of rabid fan base and things. It's an easy sell for people going from WWE to AEW, really, because especially how WWE was back then. But in terms of going the other way, there's still all that trepidation about what WWE used to be, and like, are they gonna like diminish the guys because they're AEW guys, and they've always been a bit petty, let's say, about those kind of things. So I think they kind of really needed to nail these
Yeah.
few, but they absolutely have.
Historically, it was like if you came from somewhere else, you better be prepared to lose your first big match.
Yeah.
Vince wants you to prove that
Yeah.
you are part of this company. I was there when AJ Styles lost to Chris Jericho.
Yeah.
Saw that live and was like, what? this will get you over, kid. Jericho, do the thing.
Yeah.
Boom, go break up. What?
Yeah, that was a weird one. And yeah, as I mentioned, the good noises coming from, well, good noises if you want to see more people making the jump, coming from AEW's locker room, seeing Penta and how he's been handled, and people thinking, maybe. I said on the news, though, with Andy this morning, the difficulty comes, it's all well and good saying, we'll take Cody, we'll take Jade, we'll take Ethan Page, people like that. There's going to come a point where there's going to be like 10, 15, 20 people who are coming up to the end of their contract and wouldn't mind jumping to WWE as well, and having that restraint to say, yes, but not right now, or just straight up, nah, we're good.
Yeah.
Because I think that's what's obviously done for AEW recently. Just too much talent to be able to fit it in, and then you're trying to stretch it across the shows, and then you've bloated the output and what have you. What do you make about Malachi Black, Aleister Black returning to WWE? Because that's all we seem to be hearing right now. And for once, we've talked about this about 5 times, it seems like it might actually be happening.
I think it's one of those ones where it feels like Malachi, Aleister, whatever you want to call him, has wanted that realistically. I mean, there must have been a bunch of guys when Triple H took over who thought, I really thought about Adam Cole a lot when he first took over, because I thought he was so, like, it's so hard to get it right. Think of all those people who like arrived in AEW when you got that influx of like Punk and Bryan and Cole. They all kind of came. I know Bryan and Cole happened at the same time, but Punk was just before. And at that point, Adam Cole must be thinking, there's no way this is a bad move.
Yeah.
There's literally no way this is a bad move for me. Cody's still there technically at that point. I'm just like everything is trending that way.
Yeah.
And that's the
He
first
had
moment.
his WWE main roster moment as well. Of
Yeah.
like, where he went out and he showed people what he can do in that Bryan match.
One of the most incredible Novembers you're ever going to see a wrestler have.
Yeah.
Full stop. Like,
And still nothing. So it's like, at that point, it's like, well, that's the limit for me in WWE,
Yeah.
isn't it?
like to do that, and if you can't even
Unless
turn
Triple
ahead-
H takes over. That's never happening.
you can't even turn ahead with that. And that's a similar time to Keith Lee when he was having that. It was riding the crest
Yeah.
of it and just like, no, not today, actually, guys. Never for you.
What
for
if
some
put them
reason.
together, though, and he was manager?
Yeah,
and-
well, one of them. No. But that was the first point I remember thinking, like, he must be thinking, oh, God, Now Triple H is running the show there. There must be so many people who think it's the right move. Aleister Black was always one of Triple H's favorite little projects, to the point where you heard a lot of tales of people saying like he was a proper, like, not like, I guess it is, bootlicker, like Triple H's guy. Yeah, constantly just him and him in a little room, and like everybody else like, we don't get to talk because them two are doing the little thing, and he's like, which is weird because it's not often that something that kind of gimmick would be title adjacent, is it? Like Undertaker's gimmick was never, it needed the title.
Yeah.
But so I guess the shorter version of that is I think it's probably a move that he wants, they want. Will it actually yield anything? I don't actually know.
Yeah.
I think they'll be happier, but how often do we see people who get happier going to the other company and then within 2 years they're unhappy again? So they've never been bad. They've just had lots of bad bosses.
You're gonna, if alleged reports are to be believed, you are going to still have to lose at some point in WWE. Wherever you go, you're going to have to lose eventually.
Yeah.
But I suspect he won't care straight away.
Yeah, probably not.
They'll not put him on a pallet or in a cupboard. So it's already a good start.
It's one of those things that creative really needs to be good for this, because they've already, like, obviously the NXT stuff was what it was, and it was great, but when that translated to the main roster and then you got Vince involved, it never really panned out. But he was there for a long time. Like, he left a mark on the main roster, such as it is.
Raw after WrestleMania?
Wouldn't be a bad shout.
I mean, the problem is, you could say that. I wouldn't be.
He said he was burnt out to friends, didn't he? So you could arguably say they'll say, we'll sign you. Have a bit of a break. We've already got quite a lot of plans from the Royal Rumble to WrestleMania.
This is what I mean. Like, I'm not so sure that the Raw after Mania is necessarily like where you want to. I know that might sound stupid. I'm not sure that's necessarily where I'd want to be if I was, because there's a lot that jumps off from that Raw.
Yeah,
they're actually starting to make it worthwhile again.
Good again.
Good, well, for now.
One's been good so far.
It was good. But like, you need space. That's the one thing you're going to need. Like in AEW, there's loads of wrestlers who maybe aren't even getting the booking, but they're there. In WWE, it's a different problem. They have loads of wrestlers, but they are getting the booking. And
they've only got so many titles.
And they've only got so many titles. And if they're all being booked that well, you need to find a little gap for yourself. Otherwise, you are going to become somebody's B part of an A story, and you don't want that to happen. So it's tough, but I think you'll be happy overall, and I think it better fit from obviously Selena Vega's there as well, which means better work life.
Cool. I didn't even think about that.
Do the not exactly the same, obviously, but like the Bray Wyatt, the first Firefly Funhouse was on a Raw after WrestleMania, wasn't it?
It was.
So like if you he's not, it's not a him on the Raw after WrestleMania, but if that's when you start doing the teasers for the promo packages, and then you can eat those out for a while until the time is right, until the creative is right. You've got like a month or something that you can buffer it.
Aleister Black hand puppet in a box.
Yeah.
To start with.
Yeah.
It's like, pick a fight with me. And then it disappears for a week.
Yeah. And then
what could it mean?
Punch and Judy come on and like hit him with sausages.
Oh, that'd be good.
You see,
are
you taking notes, Mr. Levesque?
You can have that for free.
Hi to everyone in the chat. Michael Laverley III says, miss you guys. Hope everyone's doing great. Hope you're doing great, Michael. Sailor Airman says, hi guys. It's been a while.
It's been a while.
Since I could watch you guys. Watch you guys live
YouTube
due to work. I've noticed that Julia's English has improved since she debuted in NXT. I want to commend her for that. Apparently she's been really studying. Yeah, fair play. Always one of those things that us spoiled Western fans. Why aren't they talking our language?
I think that's the thing. It's past now. I think they've done it enough times with people and it's worked, where they're like, okay, we have a way forward. Like, this isn't like the be all and end all that it probably would have been under like a Vince McMahon.
Yeah.
They've got like the Shinsuke Nakamura model of doing promo packages like that was absolutely brilliant. Like, they've done it with a few other people. But it's like, it's obviously useful to have more English, because of course it is. You're in an English speaking company.
And it's that being actually able to emote.
Yeah.
I remember those Asuka promos where she was just like screaming at people.
Yeah.
And you're like, I don't know what you're saying, but
I'm on board.
I've understood more of what you've just done there than any of these other promos have tried to make.
It's always like the moment they switch from English to actual speaking language, the emotion in the voice changes so much. Like, it's incredible how much gets taken away by thinking about what you're saying rather than just being like what you are.
But sometimes as well, they can do it with the opposite effect of it being really good, in the sense of like, they could do all this screaming and shouting, but then they say like the one killer bit in English, like, when it's me, I'm going to kill you, or whatever. You're like, Oh, but she said that in English, so
she's taking the time to learn that.
She's
Yeah,
taking the time because she really wants you to know.
Yeah.
She's gonna kill you, and it's really impactful. It's really good.
Like bringing it back to the Penta promo as well. Like,
yeah.
had the bits that were in English, like he can do that, but with like the moment he got into Spanish, that was when the passion really came out.
I mean, that's the one that always seemed to annoy me for America, because like there's so many Spanish speakers in America.
Yeah.
Why would you not just let them do that from the beginning? Like it's not even close how big like the population of English and Spanish are in America. Why would you try and make them dance around that? It's crazy.
A lot of love for your
Spanish
look
speaking,
today,
I should say.
Adam Nicholas.
What's that?
Matt Raines writes, Nicholas's jacket makes me want a jacket.
Well, this is my attempt to look remotely like something David Lynch would have either directed or how he would have dressed himself. He would have done a better job than me, unfortunately.
John Harrison, lovely man that he is,
John
the man behind the WrestleCulture theme, says, good Friday, boys. Hope you've all had a good week. You've got a nice weekend ahead. Have a great pod. Peace and love. Peace and love to you.
Peace and love.
Does this make, because of John's lovely contributions to WhatCulture, both the opening song for this and, of course, the Collision Cops tune,
course.
does that make him the music man? And if so, when John enters the chat, do we sing the song?
Yes.
He is the
He is the music man, he comes from far away, and he can play. What can you play?
He
Plays the guitar.
There you go. I definitely know he plays the guitar. That's it. He plays my heartstrings. Oh, that's nice, isn't it?
Hi to Business Company Network. Always love their messages. Nothing better than a morning with the boys. We here at Business Company Network are still fans of Dynamite/Collision and are enjoying the road to All in Texas. Front row tickets already purchased. Fair play.
Business Company Network. Hey, you all right.
I like.
It's like their direct competitor, CompuGlobal Hyper Mega.
And Matt Raines says, happy Friday, brothers. Hope you all have the best weekend. Nicholas, do you reckon Isaac beats Vardy's record? Phil can answer too if he likes. Cheers, fellas. Legends.
I'd actually like Phil's take on this first, because...
no, I don't think he can do it. I don't think he's good enough.
Yeah, you know what, Phil? I'd like to disagree with you, but I actually think you might be right. It's a hell of a record to beat. I'm already satisfied that he beat... It's a goal-scoring record, you see, Phil.
I didn't need to know.
How many games is it now?
So he's 8 games in a row he scored, which is beating Alan Shearer's record, which is good enough for me.
Alan Shearer was crap, though, to be fair.
Yeah, well, as a man, Phil, I won't disagree with you. As a footballer, I will fight you.
Is it league or is it league and cup? League, surely.
What's
consecutive goals, or is it just all competitions?
Isaac, I think it's... Matt, remind me, because it might be in the Premier League. I think it
was if it's Vardy's, yeah.
It was Willock scored 7 and Shearer had scored 7 in a row, and I assume that was in the Premier League. So it must be 8 in a row.
So you've got Bournemouth next.
Thanks, Phil. Thanks for Tim Flowers.
Bournemouth Saturday lunchtime. Might get a goal there. Southampton. I mean, come on. I could score against Southampton. Then Fulham. What's Vardy's? 12.
12.
So that's 11 I'm at
now.
now.
I can't have you doing this now, because the more you talk about it, the more I'm associated with you talking about it. When it stops and my friends go, I heard you talking about this in the podcast, and now it's all over what happened. So it's my fault.
Matt says it is just the league. So that'd be 11 if he does Bournemouth, Southampton, Fulham. Do you know who the 12th game would be against?
Man United.
Man City.
Man City. There you go.
There you go.
Someone.
And then it's just Forest. They're doing... Oh, no, they're third in the league.
No.
Vardy's got 11. So, yeah, to break it...
11. So there you go.
To break it, it would be score against Man City. Yeah. I mean, I hope he does it, to be honest. Funny.
I just want to see him become the top scorer. I know you're a Liverpool fan, Matt. This is no shade at you. It's a shade at my friend who said to me that, because I said, if Isaac continues like this, he's going to go past Salah in this season. Mm-hmm. And my friend was like, Salah, are you joking? He's like, no way, absolutely no way. And we sat in the stadium and I said, I bet he does. And here we are.
There you go.
So I'm operating on spite. The Larry David way to do things. That's how I was brought up.
Speaking of spite, segue.
Hello.
Corey Graves had a lot to say on social media this week, hasn't he? The controversial tweets around him.
Has he?
Kicking off about not being on Raw, not being famous enough for commentary, and saying, I've got a lot to say on NXT. Oh, I'm not on the show. Good idea. He's deleted all these tweets apparently now.
Right.
I'm not sure it was that much of a good idea, but I suppose at the end of the day, if you're frustrated, there's a place you can vent, and it's called X.
There's also, to your manager and a professional manager manner.
Yeah.
Which
When
would also
you're
work.
frustrated, there's a place you can go. Twitter.
With
Or
millions
X.
of idiots all under one roof.
I don't know
Call. Tweet at us.
I don't know.
Yeah. So where? First of all, work or shoot?
I think shoot. I think
shoot?
the fact he's deleted it and the fact that they went, you're not going to NXT.
It's a weird thing for a commentator to work something like this.
Yeah.
But then I saw a picture that someone had knocked together of him versus Pat McAfee at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I'd send shivers down my spine.
And
yeah.
I don't think that's. I personally am not necessarily interested in that match.
You.
And if this is a work, it's a decent use of what's going on in the company at the moment.
Yeah.
If it's a shoot, though, I feel like he should know better at this point.
Yeah.
Like after, do you remember, was like he used to have those occasional ones, didn't he? He's got it in the locker.
Yeah.
He did it when they were in Saudi Arabia, and he made some sort of like comment. Like obviously you can have whatever opinion you want on that, but when you work for a company like WWE who's in bed with them, it's not going to go well.
Nope.
Yeah.
And then the other one was like the CM Punk one when he was having that weird, my best friend CM Punk on the internet, and it was like, mate, go to bed. Go to bed.
Phone down.
Stop this now. Go to bed. You're gonna be sad tomorrow.
Yeah. It's one of those as well. Like, I get it. It's Raw on Netflix, or big year for WWE, and you want to be involved in it and not be demoted to NXT or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's not great vibes coming off Vic Joseph and Booker T, to be honest, most weeks. But
I'd be pretty mad if you'd sent me to that. The only way I would be mad is if you, and this is no real shade on the latter of these two, but if you'd sat me next to Mauro Ronaldo and Percy Jackson, I used to watch him every week, and I could see the energy draining from his face having to work with Mauro. I
like a bloody word in.
Listen, for Mauro's intentions were always good and pure, but he can drown out everybody around him, and he's got so much enthusiasm for it, and getting all these quotes in and doing all this that it becomes like you watch Beth Phoenix, you watch, but what was it? It was Percy,
Nigel McGuinness was on there.
Nigel
Yeah,
McGuinness was in there as well. The mix there, so but like that, the same idea though of going down there and trying to do commentary while Booker T's just making noises. As Stephanie Vaquer is banging someone's head.
I'm not
on
really
the mat.
paying attention.
And he's not paying attention. You're like, what do you reckon, Book?
What do you want from DoorDash?
Yeah, what?
Yeah.
So
He's putting his time now, Corey Graves, as well. It's not like he's some guy who's been there for 6 months.
Yeah,
I have to say,
but he's going to be the rotation guy, isn't he? He's going to be the guy where if someone's off on assignment or whatever, because I think Wade and Joe work so well
He's
on.
got some podcasts to do.
Exactly.
yeah, to be honest, I was.
Not a bad job, is it?
It's not what you'd want if you're in that position, though.
I think
Fight him.
Come on,
Fight him.
come on. Let's do it in like adjacent to your work. If we get a big promotion up to Netflix or some big thing who takes over us, and they go to you, a guy who's been on the TV in one of the top spots, and they go like, actually, nah, Gary Lineker's available now, so we're going to put him in your spot, and because despite the fact that you've worked here and got the tenure, and these guys are all like working with you, we're going to put Gary Lineker in there because he's more searchable.
Yeah.
If that's how he deems it in his head. I understand the Pac McAfee thing. They like him and Michael Cole, don't they? I get that.
Just tweeting, like, see Gary Lineker use this soundboard.
Yeah.
Idiot.
I bet he'd have a great time with it. Great time.
Gary Lineker's going
It
to
just all be crisps.
That's it. Yeah. Just the sound of crunching, or like the bag ruffling, or his adverts playing. It'll never last.
He would never have that kind of skill.
Hang on.
You do a match of the day is actually funnier to me. Like,
have I ever told
we
this
should have
story?
scored. Womp, womp, womp,
I told this story to you when they
You
had
have.
the big,
You have told me this,
they had that
Tell
big
me.
scandal a while back, and it was because I think Gary Lineker got a slap on the wrist for tweeting some stuff, political stuff,
views,
whatever. And they were like, right, you're off the show, and then everyone ganged together, quite rightly, in my opinion, and said, well, none of us are doing it. And they had that weird match of the day where it
Well,
was just,
almost everyone. Jermaine Genius.
Crossing the
who
picket
would have
line.
thought he was a bad guy? And anyway, so it was a weird match of the day with was it no commentary or just commentary?
It was literally no commentary.
Just-
There was
just-
no
just-
no
there's your
analysis.
footage.
It was just the footage. It was
So
silence.
weird.
And the program was only like half an hour long. Normally it's like an hour and a half or something.
Yeah.
But it was like half an hour because there was nothing in the middle.
My mother-in-law.
It's just YouTube. Basically just watching YouTube.
My mother-in-law said to me, why don't you just volunteer to do it? I
Volunteer, by
don't
the way.
think they're struggling for people to do it. I think it's more of a stance. And also, B, should be a scab. Just cross the picket line and...
Now is your real chance. Well, this guy tried to do that, and the the world correctly. It's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? His agent was like, must have been going like, now's your time. Now is your, basically.
Yeah.
Basically, your mother-in-law was Jermaine Jesus' agent going like, this is it, go and take the throne, basically. It's unoccupied. That's not how it works.
In summary for Jermaine Genius. That, Gary Lineker, is how it's done. Back to the chat. Thank you to everyone yet again for joining us here today. Sailor Airman says, what do you think about a tag match between the NXT Tag Team Champions, that being Axiom and Nathan Fraser,
when I'm cleaning windows,
against the Rascals? Of course, that door's just wide open. I'd love to see that.
Yeah.
I think it'd be sensational.
I mean, the Rascals did a great job coming back when they came back from the first time. I really thought that all worked quite nicely, as well as tying it in with that Wesley stuff.
Yeah,
as well,
Trey
which I thought,
Miguel was awesome.
Yeah, really good. So, I mean, you're not going to have a bad time, are you? And
Anyone but
not.
the Hardys.
well, basically, Fraxium, you better get ready because that's definitely happening.
Not my NXT!
Definitely happening. Fraxium against anyone in the world. Literally.
Yeah.
Fraxium against you two, I'd watch. They'd make you look like stars. Go.
Yeah, let's kick the race.
Yep.
I'd just rip his mask off.
What's he going to do
Yeah.
then, eh?
Yeah, he won't be able to wrestle.
Oh,
without a
God,
mask.
you're even more handsome.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Oh, no, I've revealed your one weakness. You're gorgeous. Darn it.
Yeah, I think that'd be great. I think there's so much potential for... sorry, just seen Vanders in the chat pitching Penta versus Chelsea Green, of course.
Of course. She's
Yeah,
already called him
oh.
out on social media. as well, so I'm
Good
ready for it.
stuff.
To be fair, I did see the highlight package from all of them, that match. That looks unbelievable.
Yeah, good stuff.
Penta's going to be the second women's US champion. You heard it here first.
John Catter says, what did WWE do with Aleister Black? Do they do Intercontinental title, throw him straight into a world title mix against Cody?
No,
I suppose it depends when he debuts, like you say.
Yeah. I don't know.
That didn't work out well for him last time, did
Yeah.
it?
I wouldn't go straight in at the top. But, like, I just don't
What's
know
the
where
rush?
he fits.
Because he immediately dropped down because he ain't winning, is he?
Yeah.
It's
Or-
tough.
The main event scene is
It's tough.
stacked in WWE. You're not going to break into that easily.
And it's different because, as we said, it's not just that the stacked because of the top guys who should be top guys. They are booked as such. There are years of booking. You look at the Roman Reigns, they have invested in that project. The boys talk often about how Roman is the tree of the WWE in sense of all these things spread out from him. Like, you can't just do that overnight. This is what years of actual work with it is done.
Yeah.
He's basically immovable. Cody's lucky to even got there. I still have a feeling like after this Cody run, it'd be fascinating to see what happens to Cody after this title run. Because, yes, great like shop window for people who might think, I could leave AEW and maybe that could be me. I don't know if you're going to get that many of them that often.
Yeah,
that is a pretty big
special.
one and done, in my opinion, because of the previous WWE history.
Yeah.
It's a hard, if you want to get the top of there, ain't none of this not playing by the rules thing.
Yeah.
Stuff. It's like, you better be doing everything and you better be having like the best performances and best promos of your life.
Yeah.
To think, it worked out in the end. Cody, the big, like, we have to get this right. He's not Stardust, and he's getting all the stuff. Yeah, you're losing a WrestleMania main event.
Yeah.
Like, that happened, so you can't really say no.
Yeah.
By the way, do you want to know what, or do you want to guess what Dave went on Penta Gable? Matt Reigns has very kindly dropped it into the chat.
Ugh.
Well, as a man who hasn't watched it, I've only seen the highlights because I've got other stuff to do. But I did see the Mexican Destroyer and everybody going mad for it.
So good.
Yeah.
What a goddamn sell.
Chad Gable, man.
She's
Chad
so
Gable.
good. Flat 4.
Flat 4?
I haven't seen it again, but I'm going to say a 4.5.
Oh, you've split the difference. It's 4.25.
4.25.
Much better than Joe Punkers.
Much better.
Points out.
It was really good fun.
Then what isn't, apparently, according to Dave?
Always a fun game. Hi to Addy, who says, happy Friday to the OTJ. You're welcome for the name. Thank you, as always, for that. Big Phil and Master Adam, who are your three
Adam. Ooh.
Who are your three outside picks to be the next jumps to the Fed? Addy says, Jamie Hayter, Kip Sabian, and Samoa Joe.
I'm going to go with Ray Phoenix.
Yes.
Quite an
Well, I'll go
outside
Ricky
pick.
Starks.
To be fair, if WWE signed Kip Sabian now, he will arrive in 4 years' time.
or
And be
yesterday.
Like, or yesterday, be like, It's like, mate, what are you doing?
Outside chances.
I tell you what.
I don't know, because there's so
Miro doesn't count as an
Miro
outside.
can't be an outside chance.
It's hard to come up with outside chances, though, because surely outside chance would mean I'd have to pick, like, Kenny.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
There's a lot of people who probably could easily go across there or must be sitting there thinking, I wish I didn't work here at the moment.
Yeah.
Because I'm not being booked right.
There's definitely people just sat there waiting out their contracts.
Yeah.
Cough, Miro, cough.
Ricky Starks.
Cough, yeah.
What contract do you reckon MJF signed? 3 years?
I don't know.
Because if it's shorter than that, they are leaning on him to be like, can I get out of this?
I tell you what, outside, I don't think it'll happen. But I'd really like to look at. I think I sat there with Michael Hamflett in that area. I'd love to look at this, the Young Bucks in WWE. I know people lost their heads because they're like, how can it be all elite if the elite aren't in as well? It's quite simple. It's called wrestling and money.
Cody's already done
Cody's gone. It's like, but I don't know if they'll be in. But the fact is, the way they seem to lose the spark and interest, and obviously they've all gone and done a little quick stint at Japan to get that momentum back a bit before they come back to proper work. They would be an outside one for sure, just because the amount of opportunities that would be there for them if they wanted them. They'd sign them tomorrow, wouldn't they?
Like if they just wanted a 3-year run to end their career or something, like you'd just go get paid loads in WWE and just to say you've done it to like top off your career as well, surely. Like
there's names here. There's lots of names you can just throw out there. Wardlow, Keith Lee, arguably. I don't know what's going on with Paul Keith right now.
Where is Wardlow injured or just not?
I think he's injured.
He must be injured because he has vanished off the face of the earth, and that is a. But again, that's what I mean. This is an interesting question because outside bet is not that, is it? Like,
no.
Wardlow is not an outside bet. You can definitely see that. Like he's not been on the TV show and he's massive. So I'm thinking, like,
is Sammy Guevara an outside bet? Does he count as that? Because he feels like, he's an AEW original.
But he's not like.
But he's been just on. He's just over Ring of Honor.
Darby Allin to me would be an outside bet. I don't think
is that his Everest.
Yeah,
maybe that's what it is. WW Everest.
It'd be quite funny if he just lied to them. I'm going to click on Everest and he's just WrestleMania.
Yeah. That would be.
What are you going to do? It's already happened.
So I've already done it. Outside. Jericho.
Oh God, I knew you.
Jericho will do it at some point.
I don't want him to go.
Yeah.
I don't want to really need him to be anywhere, truth be told. But
I think Jericho is an ego thing.
Would they want him? Would they need him? They must be watching what he's doing right now and thinking,
really limited
I don't
run.
think so, buddy.
Haters a great shout.
Yeah,
Haters a really good
is a
shout.
good shout.
Britt Baker is another one. Is that a surprise?
But I guess it would be a surprise if you thought about it back then.
Yeah.
Even though I guess maybe not.
She's not been on the WTV in a while.
I tell you what's more worrying is that it's hard to come up with the outside bet.
Yeah.
I think that's more worrying.
Because there's quite a lot of inside bets.
Jamie Hayter I would love to see just as
Jamie
the
Hayter would
champion
be
of
so
a
good in
program
WWE.
somewhere. I think she's phenomenal. And I still can't believe that Wembley rollout was the rollout. I still can't believe she's being booked how she's being booked at the moment.
Mercedes at some point is going to be going back.
Coming home,
She'll get the New Japan stuff out of her system and she'll be back.
Out of her system, all of that.
Outside. Interesting.
Vander says Hook, like that.
Like Hook and Taz going back there. That's an outside bet.
Outside bet.
Like Taz going back, obviously Hook's never been there. But you know what I mean?
John Carter says, what about Sheeda? Yeah, like that as well.
Yeah.
Nah, he wouldn't do it. He loves Tony Khan, doesn't he? But what about Tony Schiavone?
Yeah, I don't think he's going.
Chris Statlander says Addy.
An outside bet.
Statlander. It's like someone who's high profiled, but could possibly have
Brody King would be amazing. That'd be such a good get.
Brody King would be good.
Yeah, I'd love to. I'd watch Brody King wrestle anybody.
Brody King versus Braun Strowman versus Obafemi versus Gunther.
Brody King versus Gunther would be amazing.
But the point is, the point you made there is like, would you get lost? Because it's boring, but it's how they would look at it. Obafemi's so big.
Yes.
It's like, you're not as big as him. Get out of the way, yo.
Yeah.
Satnam Singh, there you go. Get Satnam in. He's even bigger.
Jeff Jarrett?
I've had one more contract. Only with AEW.
Yeah.
Still keep going in the Fed. Paul Abbott, all caps, right? It's Mox. I mean, I'm good right now, but if we're leaving Mox behind, I'm not saying
he said he wants
Dean
to destroy
Ambrose.
the AW championship thing, so why didn't he just take it to
Take the
WWE?
briefcase.
If he's going to do it.
Puts
Put
it in the bin on WWE.
Yeah,
You could just
that's
put
the
a
only way to do it.
briefcase in the bin. It doesn't have to necessarily have the
Be the
AW
belt,
title in
yeah.
it.
I said I thought last year, the year before, I thought within 5 years, Mox will be back in WWE.
Yeah.
I just think it feels to me like creatively there's only so many things you can do to the point, and then it's that thing of he didn't like WWE because of Vince and that like choice that he made with them. Triple H is different.
Yeah.
The boys be like, "Oh, son, come home. Just come home."
I'll never shut up, by the way, if that happens. I will.
Yeah.
I almost wanted for that payoff.
Yeah,
me
I
too.
do. I kind of wanted for that.
Final payoff.
Just like, well, I told you.
That'll be the
Yourself.
biggest
6 years or whatever it is.
Told
That'll
yourself.
be the biggest say you've ever done.
Hey, here's an outside. I was looking there. I was like, oh, there's an outside pick. Dustin Rhodes, because that'd be it'll make a lot of sense. And then I was like,
I'll
tell you what,
a new contract.
you want an outside pick? Eddie Kingston.
Eddie Kingston
Yeah.
is the answer to that question. 100%. That's the one. That's the answer. Eddie Kingston
Done.
is 100% the outside pick because he's done so well in AEW, and arguably he could have been booked to do even more if they had just had the courage to pull the trigger on him at the right time. But he strikes you as a person who would never, like, they didn't pick him, so I'm like, F you, I'm going to AEW, this is where the wrestling is. But everybody says that when it's going well. Eddie Kingston is the answer to the question.
God, can you? Eddie Kingston versus Gunther. Oh my God. Eddie Kingston versus Kevin Owens. Oh my God.
Oh, Eddie Kingston versus Kevin Owens would be
Eddie Kingston versus Roman Reigns. Oh. Just such a weird thing to think of, isn't it?
Eddie Kingston versus CM Punk again.
Again.
Oh my God.
Hi to Cameron Luxton. Thank you for your 10th super chat. You're very kind, Cameron.
Thank you.
Good morning from the Better Newcastle.
You again.
Well,
Thank you.
wait. In Vegas, this is probably more to you. In Vegas, would you be up for a trade? A Newcastle United scarf for a Newcastle Jets scarf. I'll bring the Tim Tam, says Cameron.
Ooh, interesting.
That mean we have to be in Vegas, of course.
It would.
Would you settle for, instead of a scarf, we exchange caps?
I think you say Joe Linton's boots.
Or we can do scarves if you want, but I tend,
Caps
to,
I like.
tend to collect
Yeah.
caps from
Yeah.
other places that I've been or wherever.
Would be a good
So
one.
that
Not
would
really
be
a hat guy, but I got my Milwaukee Bucks cap
Milwaukee Bucks.
from friends we made on our honeymoon in Jamaica.
Yep.
Go
Obviously.
Bucks!
Yep.
Yep,
Of course.
that makes sense.
Why not
normal
get a
sentence to
Milwaukee
say.
Bucks cap from Jamaica?
Yeah.
From random people on a beach in Jamaica.
No, it wasn't Jamaican people. It was people in the resort with us who were from Milwaukee. They were very nice.
Oh, that's
and,
perfect.
And it was great. It was one of those like, imagine someone saying to you, "Do you want to support this team?" Yeah, sounds good. I don't really follow basketball. Sounds good. Oh, congratulations, you've supported the Manchester City of straight away win the title.
Right.
Janice was unbelievable. Before we get to this week's quiz, and maybe a slight spoiler on what this quiz could well be about, Samoa Joe's back. Did
Oh, he is.
Yeah, he is.
you put the title on him?
No, but I loved his return.
Yeah.
And I got excited when he came out, which takes a lot from me these days. He 6 months away. People just need to go away sometimes.
Yes.
I'm not aimed at him. This is a wider lesson for people in wrestling. Chris Jericho, or anyone who doesn't just go away every 5 minutes, but like take some time, have a break, have people forget about you. Him coming back and it fitting and it being great, it was just, I needed that. I don't know why. It felt like that electric. I got that electricity off it that I don't normally get these days.
I was buzzing, yeah.
Yeah, genuinely felt great.
And he's been off doing Twisted Metal stuff as well. So it's not like he's been just twiddling his thumbs.
Yeah.
He's been doing a lot of stuff, like a lot of work like that recently, and the guy kicks ass.
Yep.
But he is one of those guys who you just straight away sit up and take notice, don't you?
It's ridiculous. He can literally fit in anywhere on a card, and it feels natural. Like it doesn't matter whether it's the main event or like the first match or like somewhere in the middle on a sort of lower mid card match. It's like it just works wherever it is because it's just Samoa Joe, and he just sells you on anything.
Understands the assignment
Yeah.
every single time, wherever you're going to put him. And he always knows in his head that if he needs to do it or has been chosen to do it, he can just switch it up to the next level. I kept receipts, and I have continued to keep receipts of all the people who post Joe's title reign are now like, yeah, but was it really that great of a title reign, or was it just how... Were you all saying it was great at the time? So what's going on?
Yeah.
Why is that suddenly changed now? Oh, it wasn't actually that good, was it? Well, it felt pretty good at the time, actually. The matches were pretty great. I'm sorry. Where's that? Shut up. Just shut up.
The king of the SmackDown Photoshop, Brian, has been on. He was at Collision last night.
Oh, nice.
Took a Collision Cop sign, and Jericho pointed to it So now we like Chris Jericho, apparently. And Cameron accepts your hat deal.
Okay,
Nicholas.
that's good.
He'll also bring a Newcastle Knights hat too. So
Interesting.
you're getting double bubble for that one.
Oh, look at
also,
me. I'll tell you what, I'll bring you do you get Newcastle brown ale where you are? You probably do, I would imagine, because it's delicious and it's everywhere. But if you don't, I'll bring you a bottle of Newcastle brown ale as well. He says, and then it smashes in my bag on the way across. I don't know. We'll try it, though.
hi to Z Mashups with a Z at the end as well. It says, first time catching the live stream. Keep up the great work. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Who has a better moonsault, Tiffany Stratton or Jacob Fatu?
Oh, I'm too scared of Jacob Fatu to answer that question. So
Does have a goddamn great move.
I'll say Tiff, so you have to make the call on who's got the better one.
Jacob Fatu.
Oh yeah, he's saved his own life there. Otherwise, he's going to go the other way. Well, we've covered all bases now.
It is a good moonsault.
Both very, very good.
Yeah, exceptional. It's the speed of which Jacob decides to go for it.
Ridiculous, isn't it?
Tiffany Stratton's
It's
is
just
like,
he
oh,
looks like he shouldn't be doing it either.
his is like, oh, but his is exactly that. Your brain goes, don't think so.
But it's also
there it goes.
because you get like some bigger guys do the kind of like side moonsault thing, which is still impressive, obviously, but like his is just perfect.
Yeah.
Flipped right over, and it's like perfect form. But like
It's a
he's
really
massive.
good observation, that. The amount of times I see someone who does that, even Cody does
Yeah.
the side one.
Yeah.
Because he's a bit scared to go all, and I'm not, that's
No.
no
Yeah.
shade at anybody, but they do that other,
That's why Kurt Angle's was always so great because it was just like,
Yeah.
off I go.
Imagine what that must be going through your head.
I don't imagine much, given what he would have been on at the time, allegedly.
Also, finally, with our pitches for Eddie Kingston in WWE, Mad Mike has nailed it. Eddie Kingston versus
Jacob Fatu.
John Cena.
Oh, yes.
would be
Yes.
great.
That's money on the table right there. And he gets to kick Triple H's ass on the way as well. Why not? Big fan.
Right, enough of all this. It's now time for a bloody good quiz. And I want to dedicate this week's quiz to Jay Fraser, friend of the channel, of course, whose house flooded the other day. Says, I don't work Fridays anymore. I'm doing a course every Friday to help my son's autism. Jay was excited for the SmackDown preview, but also says he needs a good start to the weekend. Hopefully this will provide it. This week's quiz, no great surprise with what I just said, is all about Samoa Joe.
It's not about David Lynch.
No. Sorry, that broke a little too late for me, and I am clueless about that topic. So,
Fair.
10 questions, multiple
least you're
choice.
honest, you know
Shout
what I
your
mean?
name, wait for me to come to you. Remember, guys, it's just for fun.
Just for fun.
Okay, question number 1.
That's just a great
I
joke.
like the... Here comes Samoa Joe.
You can
Just won the world title.
Well, you can just yeah, that was funny. Him just wandering to the ring though to that music, and always won in AEW. I don't know it off the top of my head, but I know it when I hear it. Like it's just, it's that I'm Godzilla, bitch,
Yeah.
and I'm coming to destroy you. End of story.
Samoa Joe was once told by people in WWE that he wouldn't make it in this business. According to him, who did Jim Ross say was preferred ahead of Samoa Joe? He basically said, look, you're good,
Someone
kid.
with a muscly physique.
Well, was it Rob Conway?
I'm gonna guess.
Rob Conway.
Jim Ross is the
Luke-
pinnacle of physiques, so he knows,
He can judge
knows
him
what
well.
he's talking about.
Yeah.
Is it
Always been a body guy. Oh, Jim. I'm not shaming Jim. I'm just saying I think it's funny that he invests so strongly in other people's looks.
Yeah.
There you go. He knows
a
the
lot of
business.
money with an athletic big man? So who was preferred ahead of Samoa Joe? Was it Rob Conway, Luther Reigns,
Oh my word.
Heidenreich, or Val Venus?
When was this?
This is about 2003, 4.
Nicholas. I mean, it could be any. It literally be any of them. Heidenreich.
I was gonna go with Heidenreich.
Yeah.
Yes, of course.
It was him and what was the name? His name's completely escaped me as I try and remember this. The name of the Australian bloke, Nathan Jones.
Nathan Jones. God, he
went
meant to
and did
meant to do
that name in a
WrestleMania
long
with Taker,
time.
but then he
Yeah.
got injured, and then he did the run out, didn't he?
And then did Troy.
Yeah. Actually, he's also had a pretty decent turn in Mad Max Fury Road. Was one of the guys in that.
He was, yeah.
Yeah.
I found out.
And he had maybe in Furiosa as well.
He's a big.
He is
obviously-
in Furiosa actually because he has a real grim scene in Furiosa.
Well, I've not seen that yet.
Yeah, well, I won't say.
I also found out about Terry Crews being in Training Day yesterday.
Really?
I saw a clip on
God, it's ages
whatever.
since I've seen that film.
Apparently, that was when he was back working as a security guard, and his mate was just like, "Oh, do you want to come down and watch Denzel Washington in Training Day. Yeah, I think I will, actually. And he comes down.
Very young Ethan Hawke as well. So, like, what a hellish pairing.
And it's I'll just call it the King Kong scene.
Right.
If you haven't seen Training Day, you'll know which one I'm talking about. And apparently the director was just like, who does that? Who's that in the tank top?
Whoa.
And he was like, stand there
Yeah.
and just look angry. Terry Crews is like, I don't act. He's like, no, just look angry. No matter what he says, just look angry. Got it. If you watch Terry Crews, just like,
Yeah.
whole scene. That's how it started for Terry Crews.
Imagine not being able to work out in the gym ever again. I think even if he was trying to be angry, his pecs would be dancing. Like
Question number 2.
Go like that, like
Sad pecs.
mean
pecs.
Yeah. Angry pecs.
Question number 2. What job did Samoa Joe have before he became a wrestler? Was he a mortgage broker, a debt collector, a limo driver, or a chicken sexer?
Chicken sexer. It's always funny when you say chicken
chicken
sexer
sexers.
because it's a real thing.
Yeah.
Phil, a limo driver, because he'd look really funny in the little hat.
Yeah, I like that. I like that.
No, dear, that's wrong.
Great visual, though, Phil. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that was Cena, maybe.
Yeah.
Debt collector sounds too obvious because he's bare-ass Joe and he will collect that debt. You better believe it. So I'm going to go with the first one.
Mortgage broker.
Yes, sir.
Yay!
Yeah.
It's correct.
He broke some
He broke-
mortgages.
yeah. You're goddamn right.
Who did Samoa Joe once wrestle on an episode of WWF Jacked? Was it S.A. Rios, Ken Shamrock, Haku, or the Prototype?
Oh, there's not a bunch of great
goddamn
options there,
choice.
is there? Nicholas. My heart is saying, what was the first one?
S.A. Rios.
S.A. Rios. But my head is going to say John Cena for the similar time. I seem to remember a picture of them training together in one of them old WWE gallery photos, maybe.
No, dear, that's wrong.
Good guess.
Oh.
I really want it to be S.A. Rios, but I think you've just put in S.A. Rios because you liked S.A. Rios.
Yeah, he
from
did.
Heat.
He really did.
What were the other two?
Ken Shamrock or Haku, either.
Oh, God.
Great options.
I mean, but
I would say, who would you like to kill you? But it is Samoa Joe, so
Yeah.
he's more than comfortable in that zone,
I
isn't he?
assume they're not putting Haku in like some tryout match with someone. Because, I
Did they
mean,
tell him
welcome
it-
to the business, kid.
Did they tell him it wasn't real this time? Because he didn't tell him when Simon Miller was there.
Maybe it is S.A. Rios. That would be quite funny. I'm going to go S.A. Rios.
Hey! Thank you, Hart. I knew you were right about something. Still feeling stuff.
It was S.A. Rios. I
There you go.
loved that guy
Excellent.
back in the day.
Yeah, me too.
Because Heat was the only thing I could watch.
Yeah, I
Him
remember
and
watching
Lisa.
Heat at my nana's house, and I just get away from boring whatever was happening downstairs. Telly upstairs. S.A. Rios, man.
I remember seeing a clip. It must have been just like they go home for a pay-per-view that weekend at my Auntie Glynis's house. And it was the one where...
Why is that funny? I was going
It's
to laugh
just
at
such
that.
an
I was going to
anti-name.
laugh at that as well. Yeah. Like, Auntie Glynis.
Auntie Glynis.
Or
Yeah.
Auntie Gladys was the other one.
It was the one where it was Benoit versus Rock. It's fully loaded, maybe? Benoit versus Rock, and I think Jericho versus Triple H. And it must have been like, here's what happened on SmackDown if
Yeah.
you missed it on Heat. And it was like The Rock wouldn't let go of the crossface on Benoit, and I think Jericho had Triple H in the walls as well. And I like snuck out into a little kitchen. She had a little telly in the kitchen. I was watching it on there. And I was like, oh, this is the best thing I've ever seen. Someone came in. I'm just watching Songs of Praise.
That came too quickly, that, didn't it?
Yeah.
That came too quickly. That's a real life event that was drawn upon there. I always used to find it funny, you know, when you're watching it and that just before they hit them with the chair, they'd like freeze the frame.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was
or cut
like
to
the first couple of
crowd.
times, I'd be like, what the hell happened next? Like,
telly.
Yeah.
Then you go, I want to see it. And then I'm realizing that they can't obviously show us after cut. You still hear the noise.
Yeah.
the
Or they
sound of
cut
the
to
chair.
like a crowd member just looking.
Just going like,
yeah.
oh, that's worse because now I really want to see it. What makes you make that face?
2-1 to Nicholas. Question number 4. Samoa Joe performed as a child at the opening of what? Is it the USA World Cup 1994, Super Bowl 25, the 1984 Summer Olympic Games, or his local Chuck E. Cheese opening?
Son of a gun. Nicholas, the third one.
The Olympics.
Yeah.
It's a family of dancers, and they were
I
part
remember
of the.
seeing this, but I didn't remember it was that. But if it hadn't have been S.A. Rios than the last one, I would have guessed number one, the World Cup or whatever. Because just, but there you go.
Question number 5. Samoa Joe reviewed which fast food restaurant on an episode of the Doughboys podcast? Was it Jersey Mike's, Taco Bell, Whataburger, or Goober's Diner?
Some great options there, guys.
You've just Googled funny names.
Yeah.
Restaurants,
You got me.
haven't you?
That's his whole life, Phil. Imagine if Google didn't exist.
Yeah.
What were the middle two?
Taco Bell and Whataburger.
Not that I'm writing off the other two or anything. Phil, Whataburger.
No, dear, that's wrong.
Because is that the third choice? Mm-hmm. He wouldn't do it. He just doesn't do it.
Yeah, he never does
Apart
that.
from the
That
one
was-
time he did it.
That's on me.
Only because we've mentioned so many times that he doesn't do it.
That's
So
on
what?
me.
Jersey Mike's, Taco Bell, Goober's Diner.
Well, I don't know, obviously. But because of our history together, I'm going to say Jersey Mike's.
No, dear, that's wrong.
That's what sentimentality gets you.
It was Taco Bell, but God, I love Jersey Mike's.
We didn't quite do it right, though, did we? Because we did Jersey Mike's in Los Angeles.
Los Angeles.
Yes.
Yeah.
How does that work?
Not the right place.
But it was still delicious. So,
It was.
And I say delicious in the sense that we were hungry.
It
and
was the best choice in downtown
It
LA.
was stuff and slop in my mouth.
Yes.
Good
Good news,
He's Googled
boys.
Jersey Mike's in Las Vegas.
I have to say, Jersey Mike's, well, it gave us a great memory together. I can kiss my ass after I went to Chicago.
Oh, yeah.
And went
Now that's how a
Mr.
cheesesteak
Beef.
should be.
Mr. Beef. You know when I told you that sandwich that I tried to get you to get
yeah.
in Dallas? No, but you went to the Woolworth in Dallas and it was shut.
Yes.
That used to be my favourite sandwich of all time.
Mr. Beef's.
Friendship ended with the Woolworth. Now Mr. Beef is my best friend. You have to now that you watch the show as well. You got to
Yeah, well.
you got to eat it.
Mine is so like basic. You haven't really stepped out of your comfort zone or just done the traditional like, I'm a tourist, I'm going to IHOP sort of thing. So it's either
So you got a 4-cheese sandwich, but where was it?
it's either the food at the Dallas Stadium,
You always go back to that. You always go back to the brisket.
the brisket,
Eddie Dallas Stadium.
or Ishkabibbles. I loved that.
Ishkabibbles was really good, to be fair.
I think if we'd have gone earlier.
Ishkabibbles was good, right? But and this is no shade on Philly or Ishkabibbles, but I think because I've had so many steak
Yeah.
and cheese sandwiches in my life, I was just like, it's just a steak and cheese sandwich. Like if I'd bitten into it and went, this is a steak and cheese sandwich, but it is like the one, I would have happily conceded. But to me, it was just like, it's just a steak sandwich. But
I
it
think
was
I'm
nice.
just joining it because it's all over. We're going home now. I'm ready to go home. Nom, 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 nom.
The way that I thought you might have, because you've been to Chicago before, haven't you?
Yeah.
But I thought you might have been a Mr. Beef just to the side of even before the bear.
No, it wasn't even a thing in my mind.
Which is, there's just something about the way they do that sandwich. And it sounds like rubbish because the show is on, but honestly, I didn't want to go there and be a complete stereotype.
Yeah.
But I even had to concede. I went to the guy, so the server was talking to me and he asked if you want it hot or if you want it like hot or cold, hot or cool, or if you want it, and if you want it wet as well, because it's like, I know, but trust me, man, you're like, I said, I don't know, and he was like, I think I said hot first, and then I went, no, actually, maybe not, and he went, nah, you made the right choice the first time. I was like, okay, who am I going to argue?
I'll just stand here. You make me whatever it is.
But
that
I was,
you make.
but I was worried. I was worried in case it was like proper hot peppers or something. I wouldn't have been
see,
good with
yeah.
that, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
I had it, and I was like, you were absolutely correct. And I literally went to the
I'll take 6 more for the journey home, thank
I
you.
went back to the till and I was like, I don't want to interrupt because it was a proper system. It was like Soup Nazi on Seinfeld.
Yeah.
Where it's like the system, don't mess with the system.
Yeah.
Just follow the line, do the thing.
No sandwich for you.
The cracks, like firing off loads of crack across all the bits. And I sort of popped in and
Illegal.
went, I put money in and I was like, I just want to say, man, you were absolutely right about the sandwich. He was like, I knew I would be right. And I was like, yes. And he's like, thanks for coming. I was like, I'm going to go home. I wish I'd come here at the start of my holiday and I was coming back again. God damn it. The last thing I did,
Have to go
basically.
back.
Yeah, I'm going back to Chicago for sure.
So 3-1 on the halfway point to Nicholas. Question 6. Who was Samoa Joe supposed to wrestle, allegedly, at WrestleMania 33? Was it John Cena, Dean Ambrose, Brock Lesnar, or James Ellsworth?
Nicholas. John Cena.
Is the correct
I don't
answer.
know why I remember that, but I do remember that.
Instead, he was busy
That one, isn't it?
beating The Miz and Maurice and proposing to Nikki Bella.
That's right. Yep. Because he was Triple H's right hand of destruction at that point, right? He nearly put Seth out of 33. Which might have done us all a
dark
favor.
times in wrestling.
It's smart to think it was just normalised that Triple H was on that card and wrestled the most up-and-coming guys in the company at the time.
Because you're like reading it and you're like, oh, you know, sort of 27, 28, 29. Even John Cena's like, I think I need to step back and let the newer guys take over. Triple H, nah, I'll still be in the main event. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
The longest match on the card, please, and thank you, goodbye.
To put the belt on him after that Rumble, man. Where it was the Rumble for the belt. And it was like, people are so happy that it wasn't Roman that they accepted it. And he's just spotted that as an opportunity and went, yeah, why not? Go on. I always thought he'd give himself the NXT title. I really thought. I mean, there's still time.
Question 7. According to himself, why does Samoa Joe like wrestling AJ Styles so much? Is it he's easy to get up for the muscle buster? Is it his hair smells amazing? Is it it's his mum's favourite opponent of his? Or is it he wants to beat some sense to him?
I'm going to let you go for this. Because spheres are real. Then how do you explain a circle?
Nice smelling hair.
That was literally, I don't know if I've heard that in an interview, but it was like hair. Definitely the hair smells good. Like when people say John Cena's always got fresh breath because he eats loads of Tic Tac.
Oh, yeah. Right, 4-2, 3 to go. How was Samoa Joe once written off TV from TNA in 2010? Was he run over in the parking lot? Was he eaten by a shark? Was he blasted into space? Or was he kidnapped by ninjas?
It's got to be the ninjas, right?
You would think so. It's going to be something dumb.
I guess I'll have to let you go for this because we need to.
Boring. I assume he wasn't blasted into space. What was the other dumb one?
Eaten by a shark?
Yeah, that was
People
the other
have
dumb
been
one.
killed in TNA, though.
But then WWE had the ninjas for a bit, and maybe that's what he's getting at. And it is just really boring, and he got hit by a car. Ninjas!
Yeah, we got ninjas. That's good.
4-3.
4-3, but with 2 to go.
Yeah.
Dangerous.
Samoa Joe almost nearly suffered what injury in a match in TNA?
Almost nearly.
Almost nearly.
suffered.
Was he nearly blinded by pyro?
So this question is, Samoa Joe wasn't injured in TNA.
Well, I'll reveal all after we give the answer out. Was he nearly blinded by pyro? Did he nearly get his head permanently stuck in a barricade? Did he nearly lose an ear? Or did he nearly lose a bollock?
Ooh. What was the first one?
Blinded by pyro.
What were the other ones?
Bollock, ear, barricade.
And who was the question about?
Samoa Joe.
I really kind of hope it's the head in the barricade thing, like a kid putting his head through the banisters and going, oh no.
It's stuck here forever.
It could never be permanent though, could it? Because someone's going to cut him out eventually. But I know what you mean. Sorry, sir, there's nothing we can do for you. He's just going to spend the rest of his life walking through doors like I get in the shower like that. There's just nothing we can do. Well, you can't just cut it off. I mean, you just can't do anything. I'm sorry.
Never wear t-shirts again.
Yeah. Unless he was wearing one at the time. Or you have to get ones where like, you stretch it and go through that way.
Onesie.
Yeah.
Bollock or barricade, bollock or barricade, bollock or barricade, bollock or barricade. Let's phone a boner.
Okay.
Let's get that out
That's
early.
good.
Let's ask the audience, El Chato.
Bollock or barricade sounds like
Bollock
a game.
or barricade,
It sounds
chat.
like a game show I never want to play.
It's probably Japanese.
Bollock or barricade, let's go. The wheels going into, please God, I don't want either of these things.
Phil, you have used your phoner.
Chat, tell me.
Vandis,
Bollock or barricade?
Vandis says crushed bollock. Brian of the SmackDown Photoshop says D, it's got to be somebody missed a low blow and accidentally caught him. Carl Stevens just said it's fun as an American to hear bollock in the singular.
Bollock.
A couple of votes for bollock.
Yeah.
Couple of bollocks out there.
I can flip the imaginary coin as well if you'd like. But I wouldn't want to overwhelm you.
Let's go.
Oh, sorry, Kristen's just slid in. Bollock.
Let's go with bollock. Everyone's saying bollock. Everyone likes to say bollock.
Come on,
Let's
bollock.
go bollock. Yay!
So
Well done, Bollocks.
this is alleged, I hasten to add,
Alleged.
because he also claimed that the tailbone injury that people always talk about is actually not as severe as many people said when it was like, well, that's why he's had to slow down a little bit after that. It was that mad stairs bump he took against Sting.
Yes. Oh, God, that was horrible.
And he... Matt Rain says Bollock and Barricade is the newest game show on D's Nuts and the Butthole.
And actually, These Nuts in the Butthole is exactly the impact areas. I like that. He's onto something, this guy.
So allegedly, when he broke his tailbone or injured his tailbone doing that insane bump against Sting, he was inches away from losing a bollock as well.
Good.
That's what I read.
Inches
I wrote
away.
it down.
Wait, not for his penis. It would have been.
What is it about Sting that inspires people to do really dumb bumps?
Yeah.
Is this like a secret thing backstage where Sting is actually just trying to get people to do really stupid shit?
Sting's an asshole. Basically,
Why
the
don't
big secret
you-
is
Sting's a massive
Sting's like,
asshole.
go down them stairs or I'm going to murder your family. Sting, that seems a bit egregious. No, do it. I'm Sting. All right, Mr. Sting.
So I was thinking, we fight on the stairs and then you jump down the concrete stairs on me.
Yes,
that
sir.
seems pretty risky. Oh, sorry, Joe. I didn't realise you were a bitch.
It's I'm not taking one of them Canadian destroyers. I'm not going down them stairs. So you're gonna go down the stairs. I'm not doing that. You're gonna go down the stairs. All right. So-
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, Mr. Sting, sir. How many stairs, sir?
So that brings us to our final question. The toughest question of all, many people say. For all.
So what do we do here then?
We just don't answer. We leave.
Yeah.
Leave him
All right.
alone.
Anyway, thank you everyone.
Good
Well,
night. and
Great
good
time.
luck.
Keep your eye on the donut and not the hole. That's the message from this.
R.I.P. David Lynch.
Enjoy yourself.
Samoa Joe has wrestled over
Trying.
1,500 matches. But who was his first match, according to Cage Match, against? Was it?
Has he got a silly name?
Was it Dirty Dave Sanchez,
Here we go.
Ricky Rusty Trombone, Timmy Teabagger, or Quentin Queef?
He's such
Phil.
such a dickhead.
I'm gonna
Sometimes there's an
go.
opportunity
yeah.
Quentin Queef, please.
You're going Quentin Queef.
Quentin Queef.
No, dear, that's
Oh
wrong.
no! So now I've got to get it wrong.
It's Dirty Dave Sanchez,
We'll have to wait.
Ricky Rusty Trombone, or Timmy Teabagger.
It can't be Timmy Teabagger.
Little Timmy
It ca-
Teabagger.
Little Timmy says yes.
One, two, three.
That's how he pins people.
One,
Oh, you can't slap your hands like that.
So you going Timmy Teabagger?
dirty pig. This is our home. You dirty pig. We live here.
Live here.
Oh,
dear.
God. Yeah.
Timmy
Time.
Timmy Teabagger.
Timmy Teabagger.
No, dear,
He
that's wrong.
said yes to that.
It was Dirty Dave Sanchez.
Dave Sanchez. What was the other one? Rusty
little-
Trombone.
Ricky Rusty Trombone, yeah.
Ricky.
Ricky Stark's new gimmick when he moves to
Ricky
WWE.
Rusty Trombone.
Which means Phil Chambers and Adam Nicholas, you are co-winners of this week's quiz.
Did it.
Let us know how you got on in the comment section below. Or if
All
you've
your
e-
teabagging stories.
yeah, if you've ever seen Timmy
your
Teabagger in
queef
action.
stories.
All your queef stories and your rusty trombone stories.
Rusty Trombone.
Good.
Get 'em in the
Cincinnati bow tie. It's 40-year-old version.
The old Cleveland Steamer. You can follow all of us on X. You can follow one of the winners of the quiz, Adam Nicholas, at...
It's Adam Nicholas. You can follow the other, more esteemed winner of the quiz.
At Fill My Chambers. And you can follow the one that didn't win the quiz.
Loser.
At
I think with Timmy Teabagger, we've all won. At Adam Wilbourn on X. Make sure you subscribe to WhatCulture Wrestling, wherever you get your podcast from, for daily wrestling podcasts, including that upcoming one with the Dudley Boys, rating your favourite wrestlers. SmackDown preview is available right now. But for now, this has been WrestleCulture. My thanks to Adam Nicholas, to Phil Chambers. Thank you to all of you for joining us, and we will see you soon. WrestleCulture is recorded in front of a live studio audience.
Timmy Teabagger.
Bye, everybody. Thank you for coming. Rest in peace, David Lynch.
You can't do that after you just said Timmy Teabagger.
Straight
Come
from
on.
Timmy
Okay, that's a
Teabagger to
sufficient
rest
gap.
in
Come on. A
peace, David Lynch.
sufficient gap. That was about 2 Mississippis in there. What are you doing?
God damn it. Now, as penance, you have to go home and watch any David Lynch thing.
Ooh, I'll watch Mulholland Drive, please. Thank you.
Well, the one you've already seen.
Seen a bit of it. But thank you to everyone for joining us. Thank you for all your donations. Thank you again to Larry Robb for his wonderful promise and her supporting the fundraiser.
We forgot to plug for the rest of the thing.
Yes. Have a great weekend, everybody. We'll be back on Monday with the usual bollocks. Or bollock, if you're Samojo. But for now...
Allegedly. What's the world record for the most amount of times bollocks has been said on a podcast?
Ooh, I think we just set it.
Let's get in contact with Guinness World Records.
Hello, I'd like to claim the bollock record, please. Right, bye, everybody. See you next week. Oh, we're early next week. Join us early next week. Yeah, I've got a meeting. Bye.
Well, tell them a bit more than that.
2 p.m. UK time, I believe we're going for, isn't it? Yeah.
9 a.m. Eastern.
Thank you.
Pacific people, 7 a.m. Sucks to be you.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.